Hey everybody, it's Nelson with Creekwood.aquatics. I can't even speak today. And this is my fish room. Let's import all of the listings. Yep. Let's go. Yeah, so if you're just joining us, just like every week, you can always check on our shop. You can see what's available this week. Let me start off. I don't even see it. I had a Snow White pleco. There she is. There's a super red. Where is that Snow White? There she is. I was like, man, that Snow White's looking a lot like a lemon blue eyes. But yeah, we have the Snow White pleco, short fin, about 1 inch. Can't determine the sex yet, but this one is available on our list on our website. This one's listed at 45. Yeah, I know Snow Whites have become really popular in the last in the last year. I see everybody asking about them. But yeah, this is the biggest one. This one was bred locally here in San Antonio. The issue with them is that they are really slow growing plecos. So even my breeder, he has about 40 or 50 of these, but they just take so long to get to a sellable size. But we have two available. We have this one right here. This one again is about, I'm gonna say, inch and a half. The other one we have is a real baby. That one's in the back. That one's about an inch. But yeah, super cute, super popular. Yeah, you can go look at sorority betas. Let me unpin this. The clown loaches are small. They came at about 1 inch. Let's see. Here we go. Of course, the hair popped off. But yeah, they're tiny little clown loaches over here. And it looks like those are the last three that I have. So I guess the other one sold this afternoon. Yeah, we usually bring in about 15 to 20 of those every time we order. And then over here, sorority betas. So we have a lot of multicolor multicolor koi. Here's another cute girl. I think my favorite one that's left in this batch is this little tangerine girl right here. How much for 6 of them? What is their normal price? Let me see what I have them on my shop. So sorted female packs. I'm gonna post it up real fast. So they're usually 48. If you want to do a 6 pack, I can probably do a bundle for 48, 50. I'll say $60. I could probably do making $10 each. We're trying to move this batch so we can get the next batch of females in. I've had these girls for already 2 months. You want to do it? Let's do it. Let's make a listing. Click. 6 female betas. And we got them pinned. So they're ready for you whenever you're ready. And let me know once you place your order, because sometimes it doesn't always inform me. And if you want to pick out your betas, you can go ahead. We can separate them for you today, or if not, make a dealer's choice, and I'll pick you out the cutest ones we have. There you go. I see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like I have 7 left for the week. All right. What I'll do for an extra $5, I'll add the 7th one, and then I don't have to pick any of them out. So let me do that real fast. But thank you for coming here. And don't worry, because you already have the open box. So even if you add the last one, it's still going to go onto that order. But let me leave you here for a second. Boop. And let me mark this takeoff as sold. There you go. You're all set. But yeah, a lot of cute little girls here, so they're ready to go. Do you want to add those clown loaches to your order too? But it's no problem. I'm going to unpin this for now, and I'll just send you a little invoice. I'll send you an invoice after the stream, and you can add that last female to it. But again, thank you for your purchase. I will see if I have any more Daphnia or if I have any blackworms. I'll send you a sample of those too. All right? But again, thank you. It means a lot. It means a lot when people purchase from this little fish room. All right, so I'm going to unpin that. I am going to go to my Bosemani Rainbows. So I'm going to tell you guys, these guys are fairly young, but they're already breeding. We've already pulled some eggs from them, and I've got them to hatch. Let's get them listed on the screen, but I'm always a big fan of Bosemani Rainbows. So here we go. We have a 3-pack listed for $45. Remember, if you claim the coupon, you save 20% off of your first $20. Shipping is $30. I tell people if you're going to buy stuff, fill that box up, make that shipping worth it. It doesn't matter how many fish go into that box. As long as they fit, they all ship for $30. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I find any eggs today. But yeah, I love Bosemani Rainbows. Bosemani Rainbows are one of those classic rainbows you have in your aquarium. They're fairly peaceful. They get pretty big. They get around 4 or 5 inches. Beautiful colors. Even the females that aren't as colorful as the males tend to get a little bit of color to them, but the males look like little firecrackers when they're full grown. So nothing there. No eggs in the mop spawner. If you ever want to breed them, you just make yourself a little mop spawner. Use 100% acrylic yarn. But yeah, you can see there's a big, pretty male in the back over here. Oh, you bought it. Good. Thank you. And then the females, they're the little bit lighter color ones. They're excited. They think that piece of grass is a piece of food. But let's go look at some of the babies that we got from them over here. Because I got that itch to start breeding again. It started with these Bloody Mary shrimp over here. And I said, why not? Let's see. There it is. They're so hard to see. Back up a little bit. There, you see little babies? There's one right there. That one's actually grown a lot since we popped it in here. But if you're looking to start your own breeding colony of Bosemani rainbows, biggest recommendation, you do 2 males and 1 female. Fish like the Bosemani rainbows, they kind of thrive off of competition. And so that the males leave the females alone, the females will drop more eggs so that the males will be too preoccupied fertilizing the eggs and leaving the females alone. But there we go. Super cute. Pro tip 2, I like to keep my my baby fish eggs, if I can. I like to keep them in my shrimp tanks because the shrimp tend to keep the eggs very clean. They don't eat them. They don't harm them. And I have a higher hatch rate when it comes to egg layers like that. But again, we'll look at them one more time. But Bosemani rainbow, there's a nice, beautiful male in front of us. But yeah, very popular fish, easy to care for. They get big, they get cute. That's a little female off to the side over there. Other than that, we'll move on. But again, any Cardinia shrimp? I'm actually working on a fish order this week. Right now, I have a few Bloody Marys. I don't know how many I have. You can see one right there. Oh, Cardinia, not Neocardinia, Cardinia. So, which ones are you looking for? Because I think red crystals are always available. If you send me a DM after this, I can get you a quote for Cardinia, and we can definitely get them in and ship them out the week they arrive. We pretty much let them acclimate and cool down for a couple days, and then we'll ship them out so they're not dealing with too much shipping stress. Yeah, that's the one thing there's not a lot of in San Antonio is Cardinia breeders. Neocardinia, out of the wazoo. I even have them growing in some of my tanks that I never introduced them to. I know there's 2 big ones that live in this tank. But yeah, Cardinia, because they're so specialized, well, at least their water is. Yeah, it's a harder setup to get into. So let's unpin this. Let's do one of my other favorite fish, the Hillstream Loach. So I believe this is the reticulated. Oh, absolutely. It depends on where you're at. But I have service clients that I take care of all the way in Austin, so I have no problem dropping them off on Wednesdays when I'm in Austin. So again, if you're looking for Cardinia, let me know how many you're looking for. We'll get them in, and then oh, you're right there. You're literally like down the street. I have a bunch of clients over there on the SeaWorld side of town. Yeah, definitely send me a DM. We'll order you as many as you want, and you can pick them up the same day, or I can meet you the same day. But if I order on Saturday, I usually get my shipments on. I get them on Wednesdays or Thursdays, and only because I have to wait for the blackworms to get delivered on Monday. But let's post the Hillstream Loach. After that, I'll go to another really cool fish. All my fish are cool. I don't have it listed, don't I? I don't. Well, let's make a new listing. I wish you were closer. That's not you. Retake. It's so blurry. Whatever, it's fine. Hillstream Loach 3-pack, $45, quantity 1, shipping already listed. But yeah, these guys are very unique looking fish. If I can get my phone to focus on them. Focus on him. There he is. Beautiful. So people mistake these for loaches all the time, and they are not a loach. I mean, a pleco. They're not a pleco, they are a loach. See if I can. There he is. I think that's the best view we're going to get about them. What's really cool about them is when they're up against the glass, you can see their little heartbeat. See if we can see his little heart. There it is. I'm trying to stabilize myself on the floor. Here we go. That, again, for me, is super cool. And just like a normal fish, they pull water in through their mouths, they run it over their gills, they pressurize the operculum, and then it gets ejected out their gills. And then their heart is always right behind their little gills. But yeah, they tend to like fast-moving water. They like cooler tanks. And they like to be kept in groups of 3 or more. They like that social touch, that bonding. They're a real personable fish. Males do get kind of aggressive with each other, especially during breeding and mating. But it's one of those things where they just love to be with each other. Even though they fight, even though they bicker, they still love to be close enough where they can touch. But here they like the occasional algae wafer. They'll eat regular fish flakes. They eat the gel food that we provide for them. Black worms, blood worms. We offer them a variety of diet. Whatever they want to eat is what they're going to eat. They'll also survive off of biofilm, off of the sides of the tank and the rocks. There he is. Their biggest issue is they like to hide. They like to be hidden. But they are super cute. All right. Whew. Let's move on to the next fish that we have. This fish, I've noticed it's having its resurgence in popularity. It's the electric blue acara. So when I was 17, I'm 38 now, I believe. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Um, these guys, I mean, the electric blue Jack Dempsey came out, and those were all the rage. But people had a hard time keeping them around. They're very sensitive. Next thing we knew, the electric blue acara showed up on the market. And these guys were extremely hardy. They got pretty big. They got around 4 or 5 inches. You were able to keep them in semi-aggressive tanks. Huh, they're little ovipositors hanging out. Looks like they're trying to breed. That is the only time you run into trouble with them is when they're getting ready for mating. They get really territorial. They get really aggressive. They get really pushy. They don't hurt your fish. They don't kill them, but they will chase them out of their territory. They are amazing parents. Cichlids are some of the best fish parents you're going to find in the fish world. They lay their eggs. They take care of their eggs. They oxygenate them. They keep fungus from growing on them. And once those babies hatch, they stick really close to those babies. They give them time to explore, to move around, to eat, to grow. And again, if you need any more proof of how docile they are, there are a few of these gambusia that were here for my Beischer when I had him, and they've been coexisting. But again, super cute. I would never say they're pure community, but I would keep them in a semi-aggressive tank with like barbs, red-tailed shark, stuff like that. Where is your listing? Electric blue acara. So we have them listed on the board. They're $16. But yeah, we get them from a great source. They don't charge me an arm and a leg, so I don't have to charge $20 to sell them like the other stores do. But again, it's weird that I can see they're ovipositors, so I think they might lay eggs in the next couple days. Where? That's going to be the question. All right. Next fish. Let's edit this. It's going to be a 3-pack for $45, quantity 2. Post. These are some lake tank cichlids. This one is Neolamprologus multifasciatus. There we go. Neolamprologus multifasciatus. But yeah, these guys are a great shell-dwelling cichlid. They are little harem breeders, so there's always one dominant male and there's always a bunch of females. They're always laying eggs in these little crevices and they're raising their young in there. Okay, these guys are always on alert, so anytime they sense any type of danger, like this, whoop, they'll all immediately go into their caves. Sorry for the demonstration, guys. But yeah, I think these guys in a dwarf species tank, it's a good looking tank. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of activity. I do love their social dynamic. And again, once you get a good colony, super easy to breed. And this is a fish that you can easily flip. You can sell it to your friends. You can bring it to fish shops. You can trade it in for store credit. You can get more fish food, so you can go ahead and make more fish in the future. I mean, I did a lot of that when I was coming up in the hobby. I used to breed a ton of African cichlids, and yeah, I would bring them in the shops. I would trade them in for $2 to $3 per fish, and I would walk out of the store with a couple cans of fish food. Well, looks like I got time. Take a look at my new my new coral system. At least my new coral light. What else do I have? I know half of those are sold. Like we mentioned, you can always check the shop. You can see what we have available. If there's something you want to see, let me know. We do have a lot of cool fish here this week. The last fish I was talking about were the Neolamprologus multifasciatus and Tanganyika cichlid. It's a dwarf cichlid. They're cute little harem breeders. I said I think they've always retained their popularity. Another fish that I've seen making a comeback too are the Kohaku swordtails. That's a big old female. But yeah, the Kohaku swordtails have been another really popular fish. I've had a hard time breeding them. Like I'll get big rabbit females, but they tend to eat their babies. I think because their babies are so bright, they just eat them up like little candies. But let me post the Kohakus. I haven't posted. These are the last 3 Kohakus that I have. Let's just send them off together. So 3-pack. Yeah, they're 15 each. We'll do the 3-pack for 45. Remember, if you claim the coupon, you save 20% off of your first $20. But that's a big, pretty male. The one in the back. Oh, you see the one in the back? Yeah. Dude in the back, really big, beautiful male. You can see he's very energized, and that's a big female that we have there. Like most swordtails, they are very pushy. So I would keep them in a more semi-aggressive tank. Small dwarf cichlids, angels, more swordtails, barbs, stuff that doesn't mind getting pushed around a little bit. All right, we'll go back to one of the classics. I like to think it's a classic. The lemon blue eye. So a lot of the plecos that we have here are bred here in San Antonio. We have a lot of talented breeders. There's the Snow White. But I enjoy working with my breeders. They get me good quality fish. They get me clean fish. And I support them. They support me. And we keep the hobby growing. There they are. So that top lemon blue eye right there, that one is definitely a male. That is definitely a boy. His little beard is growing. But yeah, let's post the lemon blue eyes. Bam, on the list. There we go. But again, locally bred, amazing fish, amazingly hardy. And I think the most important part too is that we support the small breeders. Again, a lot of my best fish, they come from small time breeders. Because yeah, I think there's a lemon blue eye. Next to him is a female super red. Female super red. And over here is a calico super red. He's a lazy male. He doesn't really like to move away from the glass. Like he found his spot, and that's where he lives. We also have assorted Corridora. Now, if you consider albino assorted, then yeah. We have a ton of those. Let me unpin. If you're looking for African cichlids live over here. Whoop. All right, let's add something to the list. Oh, here we go. 4-pack. Let me see if I can get some food to get them out. There we go, little micro wafers. They're going crazy for the microwafers. But yeah, we have a 4-pack of Neon Tetra. Again, for me, they are an aquarium staple fish. Our guys are bred out of Florida. They are amazingly hardy. I never have issues with these fish. I lose the least amount of these fish. I'll say out of the 500 that I've ordered in the past year, I maybe lost like 12. Oh, there's the calico. And he goes right back to hiding. Yeah, I'm checking out my reef tank for a second. You guys can always hop onto the shop. You can see what's available, and we can take a walk over there. But I just installed these new Knee Crew hundreds over my reef tank. I'm just taking the opportunity to take a look at some of the corals. They look great. I got to say that. Let's do the Green Phantom. Do I have the green phantom still listed? No, I don't know where half the fish I listed are. Of course he won't come out. There we go. Green Phantom, what is he? Let's say he's about 4 or 5 inches. Price 75, listed. So I would like to move this Green Phantom soon. I've had him for about 2 months. We sold the other ones pretty quick, and then nobody wanted any more after that. There he is. He is a beautiful fish, very shy. There he is. See if we can clear up the picture. Focus. There he is. Beautiful green phantom. These guys are big wood-eating plecos, so you do need to have a piece of driftwood. They will eat other meaty things. They'll eat blackworms, budworms. I don't think he's a big fan of gel food or algae wafers, but mostly wood. Dude loves wood. This is a fish that when it is purchased, we do pull from the tanks. We'll pop into a basically one of the 10 gallons over here. There's no food for him, so we give them time to purge their stomachs because they hold on to a lot of poop. So we leave them in the tanks for a couple of days. So if you order them Saturday, we probably ship these out late Tuesday just to give them time to get the food out of their system so they don't poop up the bag pretty bad. I like this one. All right, my wife's home. I haven't seen her all day. I'll be back tomorrow.